Hello, I'm Doug and this is a Taste and Sensibility channel. And today we're starting a new series called Stinky Cheeses. And these are some of the smelliest cheeses in the world. And it's not because they're funky or old or moldy or things like that, but they've been washed with a brine solution that encourages the growth of the body odor bacteria. So some of these things are so strong they will make people gag who are used to some strong aromas and flavors. So we're going to take some baby steps at the beginning and start with a mild one and go in and get some of the more intense things a few episodes later. So we're going to do it stepwise, and then I'll just do a free-for-all for the last 2/3 of the series. But today we're going to be looking at Tallegio. And this corresponds exactly to the Tallegio Gateway of Liz Thorpe in her wonderful book, The Book of Cheese. So there is the Tallegio chapter with lots of examples out here, and we'll be able to taste and sample many of these things that are in this chapter. So this is Liz's favorite group of cheeses, or style of cheese, and I guess the warning to people is that the aroma is usually way stronger, way more aggressive than the actual flavor is. So if you can, if you can approach it and maybe keep your nose turned down a little bit, you can and still enjoy the flavors of the cheese. So I think we'll find that out as we go along. So I have two examples here, and they're both Italian. This one came from Whole Foods and is Ambros. So it's a particular brand from Italy. You can see some of the orange rind with a little bit of mold growing on the outside of it. But the orange rind is the characteristic part of these washed rind cheeses, which we will call stinky cheeses. Because washed rind is a little too technical sounding for, not very clickbaity. So here's some of the orange on this guy, which came also from Italy, but it came from a different store and does not have a brand mentioned. Ew, and I'm thinking this is going to run all over the place. I brought a dish just to keep it in so it doesn't run all over this slate, which is not the easiest thing to clean. So it feels good to be back in cheese, and I'd like to ask you to like the video, leave comments and questions down below, share it with friends, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get notified when the new videos come out. So I am going to open this brick-like or squarish example first, because I don't think it's going to run or give me any problems once I actually get into it. And this is soft and room temperature, and it's giving a lot. It can flow, I can deform it very easily, I can change the shape without trying. So I think I'm making my way into this one. I can tell I'm getting closer because the smell is getting stronger. So there's the Tallegio Ambros. Yeah, and it's a little smelly. And this is one of the milder ones of the variety. This is one of the milder ones of this style. So that is out and exposed. I'm filling up my olfactory apparatus. And this one, I don't know if I want to let it out of the plastic. It might just run everywhere and stink up my slate. Yep, I think it's going into the dish. Yeah, it's not exactly trying to run, but it is soft. Soft, soft, soft. Then if you ever touch the cheese, touch the rind, your hands are messed up for the rest of the day. Let me go wash them right now. Okay, I'm back with cleaner, better smelling hands. This washing of the rind with a brine, I don't know if they have a culture of that bacteria. It's called Brevibacterium linens, or linens. And it is, oh, it's not good. It's not very intense, but it's bad. It's not something you want to smell on purpose. It is the body odor. No, I don't need to touch that again. It is the body odor, bacterium, and smell and aroma. So I'm just going to take a piece of the cheese for a simple tasting. So I don't really get any other dairy notes. I can't get past the strong aroma of the rind and that culture. To get down into dairy or butter or milk or cream or anything like that. So I'm going to go into the taste of this unknown brand, Tallegio from Italy. Very soft, very creamy, very buttery, and just a whiff, a hint of that body odor type aroma that's been released inside my nasal oral cavity. So, okay, that is a good cheese. It's very creamy. It's has, I guess it has a strong flavor for such a light, melty, runny type of cheese. You would think it's really young and it's not going to have strong flavors, but it does. Let me try it on a lower salt Triscuit. And the cracker hides that aroma you don't want even better. So it is an interesting cheese. Get some sort of sulfury notes. And there's a good bit of salt in the cheese. And there's some creamy dairy type notes in there. Might be butter, might be cream. And almost a buttery mouthfeel. I can tell some of the components are water. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to try it on a flatbread. And I'm not sure it matters if you get rind or not. It doesn't hurt. Rind is not going to hurt you, and that's where the flavor comes from. And I think the closer you are to the rind, the stronger the flavors will be. So, a little bit of the non-branded, unknown brand Tallegio on a flatbread. Wow, cheese seems even saltier going on an unsalted cracker. There's intense flavors. It's almost meaty, beefy, brothy type flavors with that. So that is pretty interesting. I think the bacterial culture brings out or has its own set of flavors and aromas that are foreign to the cheese itself. Foreign to the curds. A different perspective on a multi-grain cracker with no wheat in it. And still salty, still beefy, brothy type notes there. I like this on every cracker, and I like all the things I'm tasting in the cheese. And I guess I'm getting used to the aroma, if that's still around. It is just in the background. I'm not really thinking about it that much or repulsed by it that much. It's very weak. It's very weak with this cheese. Okay, now on a very dull rye cracker with probably no salt. Yep, that's a sourdough rye with no salt. It does accentuate the saltiness of the cheese, and it's a good base or pairing to bring out some of the savory, maybe beefy type flavors. Huh. Okay, I'm enjoying this. I'm going to switch knives. Let's see, I'll try to cut a few pieces. See how the knife actually goes through it. So this one, cutting through the top and the bottom rind, and it's holding together. It's a little more solid than this other one over here. So I think as they age, they get more and more scoopable, flowing, softer. So this cheese appears to be younger than this thing. I think they put them out at just a few weeks old. They do the regular washing of that brine solution, and they don't have to be very old to smell really strong. So I thought that would happen. I'm going to taste just the cheese with the brand Ambros. Oh, a whole different take. The rind aroma and flavor is minimal. I'm getting a really strong dairy presence here without a bunch of funkiness. It is nice, sweet, buttery, creamy type notes on the cheese. And I can't say I got anything from the rind itself. I need to try that again. It's very interesting. It is firmer, and the rind itself is kind of dry. I think it's firmer near the rind. This doesn't make sense. If the aging process makes it ready. So this might be a really young one. But yeah, it's easy to get all the dairy notes on that one, and there's a sweetness to it too. So like sweet milk. Wow, okay. I'm very impressed with this one. And this is one of the brands that Liz recommends in that chapter, a little section on the Tallegio. And Tallegio is represented back here behind me. Maybe the milk's in the way, but this is the Tallegio representation of the 9 different groups, 9 different gateways that she has in her book, which is a very good way to explain it. So we'll be doing all sorts of wash drying cheeses in this series. And this is one of the mildest ones you could get. And then we're going to step up in 3, 4, 5 episodes to some of the strongest ones. This is super enjoyable. Sweeter than the first one. Less salty than the first one. More dairy-like than the first one. So everything about it, I like it better in this one. So that was a nice, well-made cheese, and I'm liking it. Let's see if there's sell-by dates here. This one is out about 3 weeks in the future, so I don't think there's any. This is about the same date. Okay. And I don't know what their sell-by actually means. It means we don't want you coming back complaining about anything. I think it's all it means. I don't think it's going to hurt you or be bad. They just don't want to guarantee freshness out too long. So I'm going to do this cheese I like better on a Triscuit. Very good. Plays very well with the wheatiness of the cracker. And the cracker's the saltier partner, even though it's a low salt Triscuit. Okay. I'll do a couple more crackers here with this guy, and then move on over to pairings. So I'm going to put this on flatbread. Yeah, it brings out the salt, which is kind of low level here, and certainly get the dairy notes. And the sweetness is there. So I'm really digging this cheese, the Ca di Ambros. Okay, gotta clean up a little bit before I go to some of these pairings. And get the knife for the stinkier cheese and saltier cheese, and I'm just gonna put a blob of it straight on a dried apricot. So should be sweetness and fruitiness, and let's just see how they play together. Unknown brand with dried apricot. Well, they go well together, but the cheese goes away really fast. And the apricot, you have to really chew and chew and chew to get rid of it. So no real issue with the flavor going together, but it's the texture and durability that are a mismatch on that thing. Okay. Gonna take a little bit of the stronger flavored cheese on a wheaty cracker, on a whole grain cracker. And I'm going to add a few bits of sun-dried tomato. So acid, tanginess, strong flavors from the tomato, concentrated flavors from being dried. So let me give that a try. So the tomatoes are detectable in a nice complement. The cheese is tangy in a certain way, and the tomatoes are tangy from acid. So I think that worked. And what else? I might just grab the biggest cashew I can find and smear some of this strong cheese on it and see how that works. Interesting. Sweet nuttiness and the strong salty notes of the cheese, which is mostly funky and not very dairy-like. Ah, it went. That goes. So, this cheese isn't worthless, even when it's runny. Someone's gonna like it, but beware. I'm gonna cut a few pieces over here. And figure out what to pair. So I got Aroma pieces. One thing I want to try is a piece of fresh kiwi with the smallest piece I can find of this cheese. So there, kiwi and cheese, that's all. Oh, interesting. Tanginess from acid in the fruit, sweetness from sugar in the fruit. And the dairy notes that are detectable in this cheese, and good and sweet, play really well with that. Okay, that's good. I like that. I might do just a fresh blueberry, also with the, or two blueberries with a piece of the cheese. Let's see how this goes together. The fruitiness of the berry goes really well with the dairy notes of the cheese. And then the cheese is a little salty, fruit's not. And blueberries are really juicy. Okay, that's a good one. That worked. And I could try a couple of dried cherries. I can find the right sizes to put on. There, that'll work. So, dried cherry, and the very dairy-ish good cheese with the brand. Okay, that did pretty well too. It's a sour cherry that's been sweetened a little bit, and that just goes really well with the that kind of cheese. Follows dairy notes, and the cracker added a nice crunch to it. So this has been really interesting. A big difference between these two different cheeses or makers or age or how it's been handled since it was made, since it's been mature enough to eat. So I don't know what to talk about there exactly, but this is a good introduction to the group because the aromas are mild so far. Some of the other cheeses, I won't want to be this close to it, but too bad. But we will be stepping through the stronger flavors and more intense flavors as we go through the first 4 or 5 videos. So come back for one made of buffalo milk next time, and cheers.